Manchester City struggle at home to a very, very solid Inter Milan tonight. Tottenham Hotspur, they get over the line in the end. The scoreline doesn't reflect the story. Awful tonight, Tottenham, but two very late goals, one from Jed Spence, one from Johnson, puts Tottenham into the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, keeps Tottenham's hopes alive of winning trophies this season. But a very, very interesting night again of football. And look, first of all, we'll go on to Tottenham in a moment. I want to start with Manchester City and say, look, first of all, I want to say this to a lot of the incels that are watching. If you didn't recognize that my prediction earlier was purely to wind up Mo, my advice is please go touch grass. Please go make friends. Please get out the house a little bit more, socialize and understand. However, I did think that City would win tonight, and they were poor. City were very, very poor indeed, especially in front of goal. Gundogan with a great opportunity to score. Bernardo Silva in the first half with an absolute air shot. So many final balls, so many crosses, just absolutely horrendous. So when City had opportunities, they were dreadful. But then you've got to go and also credit Inter Milan that was so hard to break down. Everything about their counterattacks were excellent, barring the final shot, essentially. Their shooting tonight was flaccid, absolutely limp. But it was a really entertaining game, and I enjoyed it. And I think that, Inter Milan demonstrated why I think Mo is absolutely right. They're in that sort of top 5, top 6 teams in the European Cup this year, in the Champions League, that have an opportunity to go on and win it. And none of us quite know how this new format is going to work out. Nobody quite knows how the teams are going to handle it with the extra games. How does the pressure look if you're 2 games in and you're sitting 17th? Psychologically, we don't know any of this yet. And that's what's really intriguing about this as a new tournament. But Inter Milan and a few standout players, Bastoni at the back, amazing. Barella, out of this world. I was really impressed with Taremi. I thought he was excellent. The ball was stuck to his foot like there was Velcro. And just if the likes of Thuram and the like, just if their finishing was as good as the approach play and the calmness of those 3 and others that I've mentioned, they could have beaten Manchester City tonight, and what a scalp it could have been. But look, they deserved at the very least a point for this game. Their hardest game of the group stage, most likely, away at Manchester City. There aren't very many other teams that are at that level. So, yeah, look, I thought City would win. They had the chances to win, but Inter Milan were better on the night than I thought they were going to be. They were great. They were really, really good, and their fans, I'm sure they will be, exceedingly proud of that performance because it was very, very good indeed. Man City, look, it's not the best warm-up, especially after the way the game went against Brentford. It's going to be an interesting game now on Sunday. Just wait and see what happens to Arsenal tomorrow, who's fit and available. But I think there'll be some gooners that will be watching that game tonight thinking, if we are defensively sound, we will have a chance. Brentford had lots of counter-attack opportunities. Inter Milan did tonight. Now, some may say Inter Milan are better than Arsenal. Fair comment. But Arsenal are definitely better than Brentford. So if you look at the sort of in-between space, there's opportunities there. So I think it makes really good food for thought around that. And we'll get the Manchester City fans' thoughts a little bit later in the show. Hamid here says, Terry, you disrespected Inter as if they were scrubs. Again, I already said this at the beginning of the show. I did predict a City win. I thought City would win the game, and they probably should have done with the balance of chances. However, please learn and understand that I was digging out and bantering a friend who then do you remember what I said when he made his argument and his point? I went, all right, you've convinced me and changed my mind. 3-1. If you don't recognize that as banter, I seriously mean this. I know there's like Tinder and Grindr for adult relationships. Is there one for friends? Is there one that people can use to make just friends to go and have a cup of coffee with, a cup of tea with, walk a dog? I don't know. It was purely banter. Come on now, my friend. Terry, would you take Zelensky United? I thought he was very good tonight. There's a lot of the players at Inter that I was really impressed with tonight. He was great. Bastoni was amazing. Barella was amazing tonight. Some really talented performances. And comparing them to AC Milan, they're kind of Milan counterparts. The difference is legitimately night and day. Oh, is it called Friend Face? Friend Face. Den's here. This is what I mean by touching grass. Terry, stop being salty. My God, no need for that talk. But they're bantering me. I'm bantering back. Why? Hamid knows I'm bantering him. This is the problem with the modern day world. They don't hear banter. Listen, this is mild considering what actual friends say and do to each other. Calm down, touch some grass. Maybe a boob or two. Consensually, of course, young men. Come on now. Interesting. Barella, tidy play. Listen, I say Barella is more than tidy. Barella is absolutely quality. He's absolutely quality. He really, really is. Now I want to talk Tottenham. I want to speak a little bit of Tottenham. They won tonight. It's a cup game, and that is important and fair play. They came back. There's a few strands to this. First of all, 14th place championship team, looking like they might get relegated. Last night, we saw Man United play a team that could get promoted from League One, looking at their starts of the season. This is why you celebrate your wins and good performances, no matter who they're against, because Coventry were excellent tonight, and they demonstrated how difficult it is when you rotate a team to sometimes beat these sides. So first and foremost, that vindicates Man United fans. Second point, Spurs were lucky. So lucky. And I tweeted just before Coventry scored, and I felt that Spurs would go on to win. I still felt that after the Coventry goal. The goal almost came a little bit too early. Spurs had all their big boys coming on. And then we saw, even though they were winning, Coventry just missed 2 or 3 really good opportunities to put the game to bed. And as soon as that happened, I just had a horrible gut feeling for Coventry. It would have been a nice giant killing. It would have been a great story for them. But Spurs did get lucky tonight. And I think their fans, if they're being honest, will admit that. They will want to see improvements. The approach play was awful. I know he scored the winner, and that will get in some grace, but Brennan Johnson, awful. Timo Werner, he's not even a championship player. He is absolutely dreadful. Genuinely, Timo Werner, he couldn't play for Leyton Orient. He is that bad. He really is. The high line tonight of Tottenham was being, literally, their high line tonight was being exposed with just big boots. Just the goalkeeper or centre-back booting the ball up the pitch. They really should have scored more goals, Coventry City, before they got into those last couple of minutes. And they'll be kicking themselves. They'll be in that dressing room now, and they'll know. It wasn't even the lacks of concentration at the end. They were exhausted. Fitness levels between the two clubs, the standard of football telling. It's those missed opportunities earlier in the game. But Spurs did win. They are through to the next round. They live to fight another day, and that's exceedingly important in cup football. But I don't think that performance is going to go any way to kind of calming the nerves, the frustrations, the worries, and overarching thoughts of Spurs fans right now. I don't think that's going to make them feel particularly better, even though they're through to that next round, because it was very, very lucky indeed. However, where I don't want to be a hypocrite is I said it was must win. They had to get through this round, and they have done. And you've got to credit them that. They fought into the... One thing you can't take away from Tottenham is they fought until the end. They didn't give... They could have given up. Last 5 minutes, we're out, not tried, and then gone out with a whimper. But they carried on going, and I was happy for Jed Spence. I feel that he's moved. I really liked him at Forest. I think his move to Spurs has been an abomination, not from his perspective. I don't understand why they bought him if they didn't want him. Really happy for him because I'm a little biased. I know his agent, actually. So, but I liked him as a player before that. And yeah, I'm glad to see that he was on the score sheet this evening. But as ever, I'm going to bring the panel out very, very soon to have this. So we've got Kate backstage. We've got, we've got our young Brazilian, Hamza, who's going to be coming onto the show. I've heard he is from Brazil, Hamza. Hamza's been telling people he's Brazilian. So Hamzadinho is what we're going to call him on the football terrace now. Hamzadinho is his new name. Some super chats first, though. Jerome here says, Terry, that was the worst performance I've ever seen. we should have been 4 or 5-0 down. Ange is on thin ice, especially keeping Werner on the pitch. Look, if he'd have gone out tonight, I think and this is why performances are really important. This is why performances are key. If you went out, which you would have deserved to have done, a lot of people would have gone, that's it, I'm done with him now. Those last 2-minute goals theoretically shouldn't be enough just to turn around opinion that quickly. Performances have got to come in. Performances have got to improve and have got to start improving now. The amount of them that genuinely looked out of their depth tonight was frightening. Don't know what's happened going forward, but it won't be Ange's fault. Why would it not be Ange's fault? Partly. Of course, you've got to look at it. Listen, I don't think Ange is to blame for how bad a football player Timo Werner is. You could argue he's to blame for keeping him on the pitch for so long, playing him. You must have an academy player that's better than him. I cannot imagine that you don't have a left forward in your academy that could at least beat a man once on the night. He was very good at Arsenal. He was very good at Barcelona. But when Man United had Alexis Sanchez, after his 18 months and we knew he was leaving, there was talk about Mason Greenwood. Just forget the situation with him for a moment. Just think about him as a young player that nobody really knew. And there was talk that Mason Greenwood was going to come into the team. And a lot of United fans were saying, yeah, but is he going to be better than Alexis Sanchez? I thought, look, 5 goals and almost 0 good performances in 18 months. He's either going to be as bad or better. That's the same situation when it comes to Werner. Even if you give an academy player a chance and he is shocking, it's not 180 grand a week, Werner. That's why his signing made no sense, because he brings you nothing. Can't maintain possession, can't beat a player, can't create a chance, can't score goals. What does he do? Legitimately, what does he do? You know, sometimes people say, oh, he's a car without petrol. Yeah, he doesn't have tires, doesn't have a steering wheel, doesn't have an engine, doesn't even have windows, holes in the shell. He's nothing. He is literally junk, scrap metal. That's what he is. That's the car analogy there. Terry, you disrespected Inter as if they were scrubs. Oh, sorry, we've done that one there. I've done that super chat too. Needed City for £500. Assumed Spurs would be one to let me down after that goal. At least it shows City aren't unstoppable on the weekend. Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that the Arsenal fans can take from that, is that they're not, that they can be stopped. Terry, apologies to Mo. I'm not apologizing for bantering Mo. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to apologize for bantering someone. Come on now, guys. Terry, if Ten Hag gets sacked, Inzaghi must be looked at. Yeah, I mean, Inzaghi was one of the managers on my list in the summer that I personally would have liked to have seen come in. So, yeah, of course, 100%. I like how he plays. And I've watched Inter again. When they're up against teams that they're equally as good at or better, there is far more flair and attacking football. But what I like about him is he understands that, well, actually, when up against, if it had opened up tonight and been expansive, City would have cut through them and would have beaten them. And he understands that. And I love and respect that in a manager. Grey Wolf Dinner here says, glad Tottenham won. Ange is a fraud, and I can't wait for Chelsea to batter them again. All those expert pundits putting Spurs above Chelsea. We beat them with 14 injuries last season with Poch. This is true. Was it in both games you beat them? Or just, I can't remember that, the second game now. But there we go. Time for the panel now, people. Kate's coming out. Hamza will be here. Young Daniel is with us as well. Welcome back to the show, each and every single one of you. As your face is on camera, I'm going to go to you first, Kate. But you get through, but not a great performance tonight.
Oh, my God, Terry. That's one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen from Spurs in my life. I was talking to Henry towards the end, and I was sort of saying, I'm behind you, Henry. I hear you. This is terrible. I don't know where we go from here. And then out of nothing, an Ange masterclass, 2 late goals. It was like it was all planned. But no, seriously, it was a shocking performance. Terrible for Coventry. I mean, if ever a team didn't deserve to lose, it's them. I feel for them because they deserve to be 4-5-0 up. But It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking to see our high line just get cut through time and time again. The space that they had, the chances that they had, it was just abysmal. And I'm pinching myself now, wondering how on earth we ever got through that game. And to be perfectly honest, I did a whole stream today about why the value of sticking with a manager. But I don't know where Tottenham go from here. It's as simple as that. I don't know the answer and where we go from here. Because if we get rid of Ange, we need to have a plan in place and somebody ready to come in. We cannot be doing what we did before, where we go weeks and weeks without getting anybody in and ending up with our fifth choice or whatever he was. But it seems to me it doesn't matter what manager we get. It's the club's rotten at the top, and all the while Levy's there, it's going to stay the same. And I've said it before. So I don't know if sacking Ange is the answer. I don't know. I'm just delighted we got through, even if it's only to the next round. It just put a smile on my face after the weekend.
I bet. Do you know what? There's a phrase. My uncle's actually a Spurs fan, and he uses this phrase when he speaks about dodgy builders. But Spurs remind me of this because you have the money, you have the facilities, you have the stadium. Your football club's almost all the gear, but no idea.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. It's, you have the income of the top club, the stadium, the infrastructure, the finances, everything's there. And I do agree. I don't think sacking Ange is the worst thing to do in the world, but I also don't. I'm with you. I don't think it fixes Tottenham. I don't think you're just going. You could bring in Simeone from Inter Milan, and I believe in a year to 18 months, the same conversations will be happening again.
Yeah. 100%. It doesn't matter who we bring in. We was looking through it today. We've had 12 managers in Levy's tenure and paid out 56 million in compensation. Every manager has asked for players they haven't got. They've got the Primark version of what they wanted. And so you've got to come to a point where you say it isn't the manager. It's rotten at the club. It's the chairman. They never give the managers what they need. And this is why I say to people, we need to temper our expectations with Spurs. Because as much as we like to think we're this big club and our history is wonderful, our chairman obviously doesn't see it that way. You know, he doesn't give Ange's prime target, Eze and Gallagher. He's ended up with Solanke, Archie Gray, you know, players that he didn't want, and we pay stupid money for these players. So I just personally think if we sack Ange, we're just basically putting a plaster over the cracks and just setting up someone else to be in the same position 2 years on. We were lucky with Poch. He literally performed miracles, even though he didn't win anything. To get us where he got us was unbelievable. Chances of that happening again, I just don't know. I'm at a loss with it all, Terry, to be honest.
I hear you. Young Daniel, welcome back on the show, mate. Full disclosure for everybody, Daniel let us know before the North London derby last week that he couldn't come on. So he didn't just bottle it. I want to protect the young man on that. You went through, which is important. I actually remember this stage last year, this exact week last year when you came on fuming when you were knocked out in this round. You're through, but that performance leaves a lot to be desired. What's your overarching thoughts right now as a Tottenham fan, young man?
Terry, I'm just going to touch on a point. This is our first Carabao Cup win since 2021. This is the first time we win a match in the Carabao Cup since 2021. And let me explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you why. This is the problem with us in the Carabao Cup. It was funny. It wasn't that funny. But look, I don't understand why we go into these games thinking we're Real Madrid, thinking we're Man City, where we can go in and put our B team. We don't have a good enough B team to just walk over teams. We have to have our starting 11, maybe bring in a couple youth players, but we can't just completely swap out the team. Ange Postecoglou made this exact same mistake last season. I remember coming on, and it was his third game in his career at Tottenham. I was like, you know what? It's his first game. It's his first mistake. At that point, we had won 2 games, so we were on a high. And I was like, hey, he'll learn from this mistake. A year later to this day, and he makes the same exact mistake. So I'm serious Saturday looking like, The same 12 changes that he's made to the starting 11, and it was atrocious. Fraser Forster, I'm ready to rip up his contract today. The guy, he made a couple good saves, but on the ball, the guy cannot.
You won't know this TV show. Kate will. Mo might. Do you remember the Monster? Do you remember the Monsters? Do you remember the Monsters? Right. Yeah. He reminds me of Monster, whatever his name was. That it looks like a Frankenstein. Moves like him, acts like him. He does. He's like a monster, and he's so. But you are right about that, young Daniel. That Spurs need a trophy, probably more than any other member of the top six. So to see him rotate so many players and almost go out, I find it staggering. Again, it's about knowing your fan base, and this isn't. I know Standard FC won't like hearing this, but I think it's about knowing your fan base. I think if you turn around and did a poll now with every Spurs fan in the world and said you're going to come 15th this year, but you'll win a trophy, 100%. I think most would vote for it. I just think most would, right? So resting your players, you're not going to win the league. So resting players midweek so they're fit for the Premier League, I just look at it and think, who do you think you are?
Yeah, but Terry, he was on a good hiding for nothing there, because if he hadn't rested the players and played his full squad and we'd have gone out, he would have got criticised for not trusting the youth. And if he plays the youth and we lose, he gets criticised for making too many changes. But what I will say is this is the trouble with our club. Daniel Levy wants us to finish top four. He doesn't give a monkeys about any cup, because top four is where the money is. So their priority will always be top four. It's sad, but it's a fact.
Can I interject about Spurs here a little bit, right? Look, I didn't watch the game. But I'm going to say one thing. I just looked at the stats, right? So here are the facts, right? You still had the majority of the position. You positionally were in Coventry's half. Mm-hmm. I actually think that it doesn't matter the lineup that plays, because at the end you played the same striker that played before. You just change your wingers and the midfield. So it doesn't matter. The problem isn't the lineup, because against Arsenal, you still didn't deliver. You huffed and puffed and he did the same thing. I actually think he's right. The guys at Arsenal didn't deliver. He played a different lineup today. They didn't deliver. You were losing until, if I'm hearing, until the 80th minute, 85 minute, something like that. So you basically did the exact same. He changed the lineup. You had position. You had 75% position, right? You were camping in the opposition's half. So why are people blaming Ange for changing the lineup?
I'm not blaming Ange.
Changing the lineup, Daniel, didn't lower your quality. The quality is still the same as the Arsenal. So why are you blaming Ange?
So is Coventry City and Arsenal on the same level? Is that what we're saying now?
But you peppered both. You camped in both.
It's not the same thing. You even saw the difference. Mo, you see the difference. When we brought on the different players.
I didn't see the game. I'm just looking at the stats.
I'll let you know. As soon as we brought on Son, Madison, and Kulusevski, the game looked like a completely different game. We were actually creating good chances.
The stats were so misleading if you didn't watch the game. If you watched it up until the last 10 minutes of the match, Coventry battered. Coventry should have scored 5-6. As in quality of chances. Like you guys tonight, City had most of the ball, but I feel like the better chances went to Inter Milan. Inter Milan were the better team, even though they had less of the ball. Same difference tonight. If Spurs would have started the game with Kulusevski on the pitch, Madison on the pitch.
Terry, can I say that about Tottenham?
They would have won. Yeah, of course, can.
I just want to say, listen, I don't think it's Ange's problem. Literally, it's not Ange's fault, and there's no way you can blame him. There's no. I blame the Tottenham fans. You know, Tottenham fans. You've got no. See, the fact that I'll say this, their fans have got low mentality, of accepting mediocrity. Why are you paying £1,500 to go and win the game? Why? You're giving him money, and he's taking the money, and he's not spending. I feel sorry for you guys, because you can't come out here and say, "Oh, I'm paying £1,500 a season. We got them," and then you go into the game. And then you come here, same old Tottenham. I can't take it anymore. Oh, my God. And new manager. Bro, you've been there for the last 20 years, 30 years. What are you doing here? World moves on. Time will not come back. It's your fan base. I swear. And I don't hate Tottenham. I just look at you. The day you guys stand up and say, enough is enough. We want Levy out. Protest. The way they booed Wenger. Remember? Wenger out. They wanted Wenger. They refused to go to the games. Arsenal fans made their change. Give them credit for that. Arsenal fans pushed for their football club to change.
You
We
did,
can
didn't you?
laugh at them as well.
You guys
You
did a
don't.
really good. You
Yeah,
guys
you
did a
don't.
really good job in the Wenger era, didn't you, Hamza? You guys did a great job in the Wenger era.
I was in an Arsenal. I was a City fan.
Mhm.
Who didn't hold that?
on the low standards, though, it could be true because you look at young Daniel, you look at that haircut, you think low standards. Straight away, you think low standards, and then you got Kate and Jim. I'm not saying which one, but one of them is scraping the barrel. I ain't saying which one. I ain't saying which one of you, right?
That is scandalous.
But
Wow.
all I'm gonna say is though, is I love Jimbo. So I mean, make of that what you will. You know, make of that what
That
you
is
will.
scandalous.
I
At
mean,
least we've got a barrel to scrape, Terry. That's all I'm saying.
this is true. I am barrel-less. is what
Exactly.
we
So,
I'm-
enjoy playing
I'm-
with yourself tonight.
Well, I was about to say, I'm that bad. If I fell into a barrel load of boobs, I'd come out sucking my thumb. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones there. So it's one of them. But listen, we've got a few super chats here. First one says, not going to lie, I'm so proud of little bro Spurs. Finally win away from home. Terry, did you watch the Villa versus Young Boys game? Villa fans on here, please. They were very, very good, Aston Villa, actually, last night. Well, first 20 minutes, I thought Young Boys might beat them. And then they came into their own. They had 2 or 3 goals disallowed. They looked a Champions League team. City's kit is so ugly, it makes their football look bad. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Listen, I'm actually a big Oasis fan, but that kit is vulgar. It is vulgar. It is vulgar. There's a reason neither of these two are wearing it. It's simple as that. Wind your neck in, Kate. Jimbo, it's Ange's it's an Ange masterclass. That's Jim. That's Kate's husband, just so everybody knows. Confirmed that Michael Oliver will referee Arsenal versus Man City. Well, yes. Ain't he the guy that the UAE paid to go over there and referee as well? I think he is.
Already excuses. So already they're making
They're already
excuses.
making
Classic fans. Yeah.
Hard to temper expectations when season tickets cost two grand. But this is the thing. You don't have to spend it. That's the truth. You don't have to spend it.
You don't need to go.
Vote with your feet. I think Hamza is right on that one. In Milan tonight, Mo. You did very well in the end, didn't you?
The blueprint, how to play Man City. A lot of people waffled and said we parked the bus. We didn't. We played from the back. Our goalkeeper, by the way, had 40-something touches on the ball. That means we were playing from the back, by his feet, actually. He completed a lot of passes. We tried to bypass the press. The problem is we don't have as much money as Manchester City. Manchester City can bring in Foden, Gundogan, Doku. It's scary how much quality they have on the bench. But Inzaghi, I thought today Inzaghi did very well, as he did in the final against Pep Guardiola. It is the blueprint how to play against City. Don't be scared. Pass the ball from the back. Try to bypass the press. We had a couple of injuries today. Young Bissek did very, very well. What a player. Barella showed everyone what a class midfielder he is, to be honest. He was the best player on the pitch. It was crazy, actually. He was the best player on the pitch. Jack Grealish is still a fraud, buying free kicks left and right. The guy lacks courage, to be honest. He lacks courage. He buys the free kick 100%, bro. The guy is a footballer. They are free kicks. I played football and I know. He buys the free kicks because he doesn't want to continue with the ball. It could have been better if he subbed him off, but I know the protection for Jack Grealish because he's the mascot of Manchester City. He is the image of Manchester City, Jack Grealish. But for Inter, to be honest, we proved to everyone this is how you play Manchester City. We could have won the game. We had a couple of clear-cut chances. They did have about 3 clear-cut chances as well. Gundogan twice and Haaland once. But again, Erling Haaland, I told you this morning, if Erling Haaland is marked, he's out of the game completely. He was completely anonymous throughout the game. He had one header, and then after this, he was anonymous. Kevin De Bruyne, again, didn't play very well, to be honest. I saw Inter, Zielinski dribble throughout the midfield. Dribble throughout everybody.
I want to, before we go on to, I want to ask you, I was really impressed by Toremi. I thought he looked...
He's 35 years old, or 34. He's too old.
But he looked great. No, but he was linked to Man United a couple of years ago. And I was like...
He's a free transfer, though.
I would take him. But what I mean is the ball just sticks to him. And if Thuram's shooting was better, he could have had 2 or 3 assists today. He was so good at the hold-up play. He, at 35 years of age, doing that to Man City...
He's not 35. He's younger. He's younger. He's about 32. He's younger. But what I mean is that he's at the end of his career. He's at the end of his career.
He was good though. He
He was good, but he's too slow though, to be honest.
So who's been saying you park the bus?
Hamza.
What? Hamza hasn't said anything yet.
No,
Hamza literally told people to come to my chat and tell me that he's saying he parked the bus.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say something. Listen, you have to think before they played this game. They're cowards. Wallahi, they're cowards. I'll tell you straight up, they're cowards. No, 1 second. I'll tell you why you're cowards. You're Italian champions. You're flying the flag of Italy. You're back-to-back champions. But I understand why. We beat you in the final. It hurt you. You gave our first Champions League. It hurt you. You rested 8 players against Monza that you struggled to beat on Saturday. You rested 8 players before
and
you played.
You rested 8 as well, by the way. Just to let you know, you rested 8 at home. We played away. You rested 8 players out. Anyway,
all our backline played. Exactly the same backline.
No, all backline. Lewis didn't play. Diaz, you played Stones and Walker, bro.
Yeah, but most of our Edison played. Vardio played.
Edison is the goalkeeper.
You rested against Monza and you came to this game like cowards. I'll call you out for this. You're cowards. Because, yes, you're cowards, 100%. Because the way you played, you had 40% possession. I swear to God, from beginning to the end, all you did, you dropped Lautaro Martinez. You dropped your main player as a captain.
You don't know he's injured. He's injured. He's injured. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He's also not
He wasn't injured.
Guys, he actually was ruled out from the game, but because we don't have our fourth striker.
Thank you very much. But what you did, every time we got the ball, and we're pressing you, 11 men back. 11 men back. No courtesy of sitting back. And your aim was to get. You're happy with the 0-0. I'm not happy. I'm Manchester City. I'm
definitely not happy. I'm definitely
you
not
drew to
happy.
Monza. You're happy, man. You're happy for draws. You're used to draws.
I'm definitely not happy.
I draw against you, and we had chances to finish you. Your game plan was hit them on the counter. Listen, I'll give you some answers.
You don't know any football, brother. You don't know any football. That's not
He's a world-class manager.
He didn't interrupt you, man. Let him go. Let him go.
Play counter.
He doesn't know football. He's waffling. He's waffling.
To come and trash Man City.
He's wasting everyone's time.
No, let's hear it so we can move on.
You know when you give it all that and you come here and you play defensively and you say, "Oh, Man City, there's a way to play Man City." Or, bro, what's the difference between you and Brentford who played us on the weekend? What was it? You just sat back. But we scored.
Well, the difference is you beat Brentford. You didn't win today.
Yeah, but we could have scored.
I was listening to a podcast the other day of all these ex-Premier League managers. They were talking, and there's a comment that one of them made. I don't remember which one it was, and he just said that if you ever play a game, especially away from home in the Premier League, and you lose, and the manager that beat you praises you in your team, he says that just means that's an embarrassment. He said that just says you've played into their hands and they found you easy to beat and they praise you as a sort of pat on the head like a pet dog. And so you shake your head. This is coming from professional managers.
No, I know where it's coming from. Yeah.
So they're essentially saying that what you want, and when you know you've done a good job, is when the rival manager, the rival players, and the rival fans and media are fuming at how you played and stop them. So I would say that Inter Milan did the right thing because you two have come here fuming, throwing around words like coward, as opposed to Hamza. Hamza, I'm going to ask you this question. What did Pep and your team get wrong tonight? Why did you struggle to break down this Inter Milan team? What did you get wrong?
You know, because we didn't do anything wrong. We had 11 men at the back, and all you did, every time we got the ball, they had 11 men. It's like, they packed a plane. The whole plane was there. 6, 7 at the back. I don't know, 7, 6 at the back. No striker. And all their aim was hoof it, run at counter-attack, and aim and inshallah get a goal. To me, I did not see the way he's talking, there was a way to lock up Man City. Don't talk like that when you played like that. Talk like that if you came to my team and you had like 60%. Well, you had 40%. You talked about possession. You had 40% possession. You had least passes compared to us. We had 60. We bossed your run. We didn't show like cowards. We never play like cowards. Man City will never change the style, the way they play against anyone, because we are not cowards.
When you say you couldn't do anything better, though, and when you say you couldn't do anything better, you had 22 shots today, okay? And actually, you had 22 shots. You had 7 that were blocked. So in totality, you took 29 shots, but you only got 5 on target. So when you say you couldn't have done any better,
blocks.
Yeah, but okay, but you had 22 shots that were not blocked. Only 5 were on target. So you could have done that better. Your players could have been more clinical with the 22 attempts on goal they have, surely.
We had chances to and Gundogan had 2 chances. Foden had 2 more chances, open goals. And I believed, listen, I'm not going to talk down as if Inter's a shit team. Inter's a good team. But I just didn't like the way that they approached the game. Listen, I know we beat in the Champions League final, but bro, come on, man, have shame. Play the way Madrid players. We went to the Bernabeu, we played them. We didn't go to the Bernabeu, back the bus. Did you see me? I don't care about 14 Champions League. We came there and we said, yo, we will play our style of football no matter how big you are. So why did you pack the bus? Why were you playing defensively today? Because you knew that was the only way to play Man City. Toe to toe, you can't beat us. So
you know what?
The way that most talking as if Haaland was pocketed. Yes, okay, Haaland did get pocketed. But Haaland's job sometimes is not to score every single game. Hold on, the guy just scored hat-trick every single time. Yeah? Is his job to score every single time? Like every single game he has to score? No. His job is also...
The focus from Inter this game... Go ahead.
Sorry, go on, V. Go on, V.
I was going to say, first and foremost, Inter, quality squad. I'm going to differ from Hamza just slightly.
Your microphone sounds like you're underwater, by the way.
Do I? All right, let me stop. Continue. I'll come back.
Yeah, come back. Yeah, just sounds like you're underwater. I wouldn't say Haaland is meant to score in every single game, Hamza. What I would say is that his overall play could have been much better. His hold-up play was poor. His interplay was poor. His shooting was a bit. I mean, Bastoni pocketed him, and it doesn't mean he has to do brilliant in every game. But he got done today.
He had 7 guys. He played 90 minutes. He had 7 passes. Okay, so hold on. If I park the bus, how is my forward have more passes than your forward?
Because your boys were passing from the back.
Okay, let me just explain to you. You have done yourself here. You have done yourself. If Inter parked the bus and played counter-attack, how is my goalkeeper completed 87% of his passes, passing more than 50 passes? That is the definition of not playing counter. That is the definition of playing from the back.
Long ball, yeah.
That is like the definition of playing from the back is when my goalkeeper completes. Hamza, don't cut me off. You don't know counter-attack in football is not when my goalkeeper is passing the ball around in the 6-yard box, Hamza. That is not counter-attack. When my center back complete 95% of his passes, right? 90%. That means hold on.
Your keeper has a lot of passes.
No, hold on. Actually, hold on. That means I am not clearing the ball. If I'm clearing the ball, my center back will not have 95% pass completion. That means I am playing from the back. I literally bypassed your press. You have to admit it that your team is shit. That Rodri, to be honest with you, today, Rodri got outplayed today every single time. Today, he showed Rodri today, last point, Barella, Hakan. Hold on. Barella, let me just finish this point. Barella, Hakan, and Zelensky literally showed Rodri that it's not, football is not only about passing the ball around. It is about bypassing the press, and you are chasing us, fearing to pull someone because you are too slow. That is the football. Bro,
you're not going to do this as a Ballon d'Or winner. No.
Yeah. Fine, Ballon d'Or winner. But I'm telling you, because he plays for City, hold on, because he plays for City, when Inter bypass City's forward press, Rodri looks lost. He was literally lost on the pitch, and he looks like a turtle. Bro, he's slower than me, bro.
Okay. Let me address this.
One second.
Let me address this.
Last thing. If you had a fight 1-on-1 by bringing 3 guys on you,
I beat you in a fight, Hamza. Oh, sorry.
But you're saying, "Oh my God, look at this guy."
Hang on. Start that. I shouted. Start that analogy about me having a fight again, please. Start again.
Rodri had in himself as the only soul in midfield, had the donkey of Barella, Chanahoglu, and that Zelensky guy. Yeah?
Not true. Each one of them was doing it on his own. Anyway. Bro, no. Each one of them was dribbling at him on their own.
No, it wasn't.
At their own. How do you not admit that he was too slow today and looked really off the pace?
No, okay, all right. Rodri didn't have his best game. Rodri didn't have his best game, but let's stop this, Mo. Don't do too much of this game. I was going to come here and give praise to Inter because of how they played. And again, I think you showed more bravery, more courage than Real Madrid. That's where I disagree with Professor Hamza. Real were clearly going to go to pens and play as calmly and reserved as they could. But Inter went for it. And also, I want to point this out. Rodri's only played for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. He's only played a half. And it showed. It showed. So if you want to criticize how he moved, how he was reading the game, potentially he had a few poor passes, that's fair. But this whole blueprint stuff, Mo, when City fans were saying Arsenal didn't show courage last season, all of you were saying, oh, they weren't playing your style or what you expected. No, we were saying we could get at. We were saying you could get at us if you attack us, which Inter showed today.
So that's what I mean. The blueprint is today. We pass from the back. We bypass your press.
But you guys are wrong. The way Inter Milan played you today is the way you attack City. If you open up, you don't have solid banks of four, or 4 or 5 where there's very little room to play in between, and then you counter it. And I do think you I don't think you were playing like long ball, but they did play counter attack. They'd win the ball back.
Counter. They were sprinting down on us when they won.
But the counter attack was very good football, because a lot of it, very few of the counter attacks were a centre back picking the ball up and knocking it deep into a channel. A lot of it was playing out intricately from the back, which takes bravery, which takes skill.
And that's all we were saying last
But that's how you have to do it against City. We are all very aware. Hamza, sorry. Let me finish, please. We're all very aware of how amazing you are at playing football. I understand what you yourselves, not so much V, but more Hamza, are trying to do. It's that almost like goading people to come out. And if you could have your way, you'd love to goad every football team that plays you to come out. Hang on. No. Exactly. What you're trying to do, if you had your way, Hamza, you would like to goad every single football team in the world that you play to come out and go all out attack, so it would be easy for you to operate in the spaces and score goals. Everybody knows how amazing you are. Take it as a compliment that teams have to be pragmatic at times against you to beat you. The only teams that are stupid when they play Man City are the ones that open up and attack, because the likelihood of winning is so low. It is, but what they do get when they open up and attack and get beat 5-0 is they get you lot patting them on the head like they're a 2-year-old puppy, saying, well done for bringing your ball back. It's ridiculous. You can't expect anyone to do that.
Inter Milan are basically Atletico Madrid in Italy. There's no difference. This is where they lost to Atletico Madrid.
Hang on. Hang on. What?
That's
Italian football. Italian football is based on being brilliant in defending. It's literally their culture.
But it's the dirty defensive, and hopefully we can get the 1-0. But to me, I saw a team that are cowards. If I'd lost 1-0 in the Champions League final, their fans have been giving it all that. After the Champions League final, we humiliated them. How dare you? How dare you come to us when after losing more like that? You lost.
How is being beat by the best team in the world 1-0 in a final humiliating?
Because they gave us our first Champions League. I'll have to tell my children every day how I won my Champions League by dunking on Inter Milan.
But they got free. But they got free.
It doesn't matter. My first one is through their failure. I'll always remember that.
But I don't listen. I'll be honest with you. They're not an English club, right? I don't think there's any Italian that sits at home crying into his spaghetti and Chianti going, oh my God, we gave City the first Champions League, mamma mia. I don't think any of them are doing that. I don't think any of them care. Hamza.
They care. No, they do care.
Hamza, you're so rattled. This is unbelievable.
You're so cowards. I made pasta as my main source. You're so cowards. I beat you in the final.
You're unbeaten. You're a national treasure, bro. You're unbeaten.
Simone Inzaghi will never take this away from me. Simone Inzaghi will never take away this pasta from me, because it is my pasta. It now belongs to us. Man City. We'll call it. This is our pasta. It's made by Manchester. I don't care. Cowards. The way they play today, cowards. Come and play me.
Legend.
I don't think anybody is like you, Hamza, but I think you understand football differently. I thought your team lackluster today. Your team were not good. If this is Man City, a lot of teams can beat you in the league, in my opinion. I know not a lot of teams have the quality that we have. not a lot of teams. I'm just gonna tell you, not a lot of teams have the quality we have in terms of like the defenders play from the back. But there are teams like Brentford that could have beaten you at your ground. You have to admit that your team today was not good. You could have done way more. This is your first game in the Champions League. By the way, if City or Real Madrid come to my ground, I would be crying like you, Hamza, if I don't win. I'll be crying, finding excuses.
He was
To be honest,
crying.
I'll be crying like you, finding excuses. But anyway, I
Crying.
want my team to win.
Crying. It's an old British sitcom. But next time you're in England, we're going to watch some Only Fools and Horses, Mo. Before we speak to Sinead, Hamza is clueless. Defense is part of the game. Absolutely right. Barella was a joy to watch. Big up Mo backing his team against FC Court Case. If Thuram wasn't wearing Crocs, honestly, he was so bad today. His finishing was limp dick finishing. That was Anthony Taylor removed from being in the ref in your game. Oh,
hold on. What? This is not true, though.
Is it not? I don't know. I'm just reading the super chat.
I've never seen a club that makes such big of a deal about the referee before the game is even kicked off.
True. City fans need to stop crying about low blocks against them, especially when other teams create good chances against them. Counter is also created by beating you in the press, and every team does it. What you've also got to be careful of, Hamza, is the future. You won't always have Pep. And I can't wait to have you on the terrace. Maybe in 2 years, you won't always have Pep as your manager. Like, let's be honest. It's one day won't be there. And I can't wait to have you on the terrace, whether it's in 3 years or 30 years, Hamza. When you're sitting there playing counter-attack football and you're praising it, and everybody's going, Terry, bring up that clip from September 2024 when he said counter-attack football cowardice.
Again by then.
Yeah. The idea that having possession means better football needs to die. The point of competitive football is to win. Fergie had teams that were deadly at counter-attacking. Absolutely right. I feel like I'm in a vegetative state listening to Hamza. Hamza's great. That's why I love this guy. I love the fact he keeps telling everybody he's from Brazil. Hamza, you rattled Liverpool fans against Forest 6-back. Now you're defending City. Where is your world-class striker? He only knows how to score against low-average teams.
He scored against Bayern Munich. That's not a low-average team. When we beat them,
they were last year. They were last year. To be fair,
yeah.
No, the year before that when we won the Champions League.
Oh, they've been rubbish for 2 years.
Haaland's world class. He's the best striker in the world. Facts.
I agree.
No, best striker in the world.
Yes.
Better than Mbappe.
Haaland, 100%. Erling Haaland is definitely the best striker.
I'll take Mbappe over Haaland.
But Mbappe's not a striker, and Erling Haaland is a better striker than Mbappe. Just come on.
Finisher, yes, but player.
Yeah, which is the definition of a striker.
Do you know as you're getting older now, Daniel? Do you know as you're getting older now, Daniel, with that hair? There's somebody I need you to Google. You remind me of somebody. It was a character on a great American comedy show that kids used to watch called Screech from Saved by the Bell.
You know what? You're not even the first person
to say that.
You're not even the first person. My mom always fucks with me with that. She's always like,
well, yeah, because your mom's probably about my age. You know, that's the funniest bit. How old is your mother and father? Give or take.
They're in their 40s.
Okay, well, not that much. Not that much younger than older than me.
It is. The problem is, then it's too late for you to change teams now. You could have done it 2 years ago when we told you, bro.
Listen, until he turns 21, I still think he can change. Being an American.
Don't tell him this. No, he can't.
Changes.
He's clipped on the football terrace.
I'm not changing to him.
Thousands of people watched you on the football terrace. Thousands of people watched you shit on Arsenal. You can't change now.
Igal said Spurs have a better 11 than Chelsea. Fuck, Igal, that's an L, bro.
But only thing I say about Spurs, I don't see any Spurs fans. I never see Spurs fans complain about playing against low blocks, but I see Man City fans do it.
Yeah, Man City fans are just crying whenever they don't win. They're not used to not winning games, I suppose. Don't have a good B team. I'd say you don't have a good A team, mate. Come on, you gooners. Obviously speaking about Tottenham. Thank you, Lucas. Everyone hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Get that smashed. What was Hamza whispering in that monologue though? Why was he whispering?
I wasn't whispering on that monologue. No way.
Is that like some Brazilian cultural thing? Because you're Brazilian.
Nah. I was having ketchup on my pasta. That's what I was trying to find.
You didn't put ketchup on pasta.
I do since I've been into Milan. That's why I have ketchup with pasta.
I'm not Italian, but I feel offended.
No, listen, try it before you say something, please.
Try it. No, thanks, mate. Do you know what I do like though? I like ketchup and peas. Ketchup and peas is an amazing mixture. I don't know why.
Hamza, you put
I
ketchup
don't eat
on
that
pasta?
by itself, but
Hamza, you put ketchup on pasta?
A lot of people, yeah, do put ketchup.
No one does that. No one does that.
This, bro. No one does this.
Tomato ketchup on pasta. Honestly, bro, that's illegal. You will get Italians coming for you. This here says, why is it that when any team who plays City in a way that makes it difficult for them to win, they are cowards? The objective is to win. How you do it doesn't matter, is what Patrick Lynch says here.
100%. If you defend against City and you get pepper 3, we'll blame, but we didn't get pepper 3.
I only called you cowards because the way that you spoke against City and say, "Oh, this is a," but I said, "Okay,
cowards.
Don't talk like that." The way you played, like you came.
All I'm gonna tell you is that we had more position at your ground than Real Madrid had against you in their ground.
What was the
we said you played more attacking than Real Madrid. We said that.
Wayne here says, I love me some Lisa. Lisa Turtle was nice. Yeah, I had a crush on her. In fairness, I liked all 3 girls in Saved by the Bell. Is it Lisa Turtle, Jessica? I don't remember the other one's name. Beth. Was it Beth? How do I remember this? I haven't watched it in years. I had crushes. In fairness, but I remember I like the Power Ranger girls as well, because there was Trini and there was Kimberly. And then there was another girl.
That's the reason you have no barrel to scrape. I think we found out why.
What? Because when I was a young man, I fancied girls. What's wrong with that?
And you still know their names so quickly.
No, but I remember. But I remember, like, I remember characters from like the names of characters from films I watched 30 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Is that weird? I don't know. Maybe it is. The Italian ultras are definitely coming for you. I did watch this guy. He did this whole video where he spent a summer in Italy, and he just kept on doing things that are so like breaking pasta. He was eating a pizza with a knife and fork, and they were going mental. The way he was drinking certain drinks, like he was putting like, you know, like people make spritzers with white wine. He was making spritzers with red wine, and the faces of the waiters and the people in the restaurants was crazy. Cities, New Jersey. What the F? I think that's one of the ugliest. Yeah, it's disgusting.
I think
they made a mistake. They will never do it again. They will never wear it again.
By the way, Sinead O'Connor, what do you make of Tottenham tonight?
Oh, geez. I mean, that was a tough watch. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys watched it, because obviously a Champions League one, but we could have been 1-0 down in 50 seconds. Yeah. I mean, Forster. Like, I understand Ange has got to make changes, but what was the alarming thing was his in-game subs. Like, Bergvall was the midfielder who actually looked the better of the 3. He subs him off for Maddison. Timo Werner stays on the pitch for 75 minutes, and then I think he fakes an injury just to get out of there. Johnson, we've all given him huge criticism, but fair play. He put the ball in the back of the net. It was a clever finish. But my God, I mean, Kate was in my stream. We were just chatting. That was at times. I mean, coming away from a championship side with less shots on target, less corners, less touches in the opposition's penalty area. I mean, if Ange gets sacked today or tomorrow, I don't know who the right manager is. I don't think a lot of those attackers can actually improve. Like, Archie Gray is a midfielder who can play right back. We've got Jed Spence on the bench, who should have played right back that game. He subs Jed Spence on for our left back, Udogie. Like, the subs don't make any sense.
Is Ange out a serious thing? Is Ange out like a real thing?
You should have seen it on Twitter. Twitter was going berserk.
It's actually trending.
our
It's
fan
actually
base is,
trending.
like,
Vader, it is
reactionary as
actually,
well.
it was trending.
Oh,
Actually.
that's
Like
crazy.
actually,
No,
one of the when you go to the UK,
cool.
it is actually the hashtag is actually was one of the trends. You know, when you go search trends,
That's
it
right.
is
We
trending.
know what trend needs.
No,
Like,
because some people don't know. Like think that trending is like no, it is that it's ranked
Wow.
as one of
Wow.
the things.
us in that game, I know Barnsley are probably not. Well, they're not. They're nowhere near as good a side as Coventry. But Man United made a lot of changes and could have won that game 10-0 yesterday. We had I would argue, 6 players that should be in and around the first team. But Forster, I mean, if we would have gone penalty shootout, he probably wouldn't have subbed him off. He can't start it. He can't play out from the back. I mean, he come out and nearly clattered into Radu Dragusin. Like, Dragusin was carrying him on his back for 2 seconds. It just, a lot of things aren't adding up. And Brennan Johnson has just saved his job because I honestly think I saw Daniel Levy's face a number of times and he looked fuming. And if we play against Brentford like that, I'm not confident at all. Rotation is going to be key. So these are the players that we're going to see a lot in the Europa League and a lot in the League Cup and the FA Cup. Van der Ven Romero didn't play today, but Ben Davies is a diabolical footballer. How he's still playing at this football club at 34 years of age. He can't play out from the back. He's got no pace. He's all right in the air, to be fair.
Ben Davies.
Saved us for the fucking goal.
He
though.
did save us from that goal.
Yeah, he did. But
He's still shit though.
in the Premier League, there's absolutely
Yeah, but I
no
thought
way.
he was better than Ivan Drago.
No.
Oh yeah, but Dragusin's at the beginning of his career at Spurs. Ben Davies
don't
been here
think
a
he was.
decade.
Bruv,
I-
man, I think if
than
you
that
go,
goal
I
line
think if
period,
you, I
Davies
think as a
gave the ball away
footballer,
11 times.
if you're gonna have long hair and a top knot, you've got to be amazing.
No,
Can't
it's
even
in the
think.
Euros.
Davies did
In
an
the Euros-
unbelievable clearance.
In the Euros, he was like for Romania, he was one of the best
He
defenders.
loves. He's
Yeah,
a defender.
but that's because he was
loves to
playing in
defend.
a system where the high line wasn't in the other team's off.
To be fair, he's fit.
That was the worry. Yeah, he was probably good looking. But
How do we change it, though? 'Cause he's not
What
gonna
was
change
funny
the
to me was a championship team were able to just boot the ball with no real accuracy up the other end and get in on goal because your high line was so high. Hamza, Mo, you would have pissed yourself laughing. It was Sunday league football.
I don't understand it. Henry asked me, like we were talking the other day, and he asked me how to fix it. Bro, you tried every single type of brand of football in the last 7 years, and it never worked, bro. You tried one of the most pragmatic coaches we have watched in our lifetime, right? In Jose Mourinho. You tried one of the most aggressive coaches in Antonio Conte. He's so aggressive. Like, listen to the players that were coached under Antonio Conte at Chelsea, at Inter, at Juventus. He is so aggressive in the way he coached his team, and it never worked. You tried the youth development, Pochettino. It didn't work. It almost worked. Nuno Espirito Santo didn't work. Ange Postecoglou, one of the most progressive coaches in the world, and it doesn't work. You have to change your owners. People have to boycott the stadium. Khalas. It's over, bro.
It's that or shut the club down. You've tried it all, it hasn't worked. Go home.
Bro,
Turn it
what are you gonna
turn
do?
it into a shopping center. At least, I mean, do something. Daniel, super chat for you. He says, Daniel, do you still think you have a better combined 11, like a better squad, than Arsenal?
A squad or not, for sure, no. Squad,
Yeah,
I've always said.
Or first 11. Or
You
club.
don't have a
I'd
better
have to-
first 11.
I'd have to reevaluate now, you know.
How many players get in that Arsenal team? Like 11 for you.
None.
It's gone down since last season.
You don't
That's
get a
the thing.
single player in that 11 right now.
It didn't go down.
Oh, come on, Terry. Come on, man. Are you serious?
I think the only one who gets in is
Daniel,
Son.
you don't have anyone. Daniel,
Maybe-
you have none. You have none.
Udogi,
That's
Son-
because
Son-
of
Udogi,
the
what? So is Zinchenko now just or is Timber just better than
100%
Udogi now?
Timber this season.
Adogi maybe actually. Adogi maybe. I'd maybe look at him.
Who starts on the
Hard to
left?
see.
Trossard or Son?
Trossard.
I
Son's,
think so.
hang on, you
Come
spent the
on,
whole of the
man.
last stream standing up shouting that Son shouldn't be out on a wide area.
Yeah,
How can you
because
put him out there?
that's not Son's fault. That's tactic. He got 17 goals in the league last year. When he's for running through on goal, which is what we should play to, his strengths.
But not on the left, in the middle.
Yeah, not. But
So he ain't starting on the fucking left, then, is he?
Yeah, but Dominic Solanke will start.
They put Son in the middle.
No, Kai Havertz
Yes.
starts up front.
Oh, get out of here, man. Kai Havertz over Heung-min Son. No, the disrespect from this
Now
guy's
in
crazy
2000,
now.
but we're talking 2024.
Still. Bro, I don't care. Son is 2 times the player Kai Havertz is to this day.
What now?
100%.
Nah.
No, come on, man.
This super chat here is Hamza. Were you sad when City won at the Emirates with 36% possession?
No, because we dunked on them 3-0 and we won the league.
So as long as you score more than one goal, it makes sense. Pep was one of the first managers to double mark Saka in the Premier League season, and then everyone started doing it. So by Hamza's definition, that he is also a coward.
You see, this is the problem. Saka never performs against big teams. Man City got pocketed by Ake. Bernardo Silva played as a left back, he pocketed him. The game after that, Akanji played as a left back, pocketed him. Saka's never, ever had a good game against Man City. Never. So don't bring a double up.
Fun fact, Coventry City has had more seasons in English top tier, 33 seasons, than Man City, who've had 22 seasons at the top of English football.
Oh, poor you are, but we still won the league 4 times in a row.
I'm just reading the super chat. That's not my fault.
They're so sensitive at Man City.
Performance is not performance is not only possession and so-called pretty football. Defense, structure, counterplay is all part of it. You're bang on, Harold, me old mucker, Harold. Hamza, Steptoe and Son, another great sitcom. They don't make them like that anymore. Hamza, how are Inter cowards when they came to your home, put their feet up, drank your tea, ate your pastries, and all City did was sing Wonderwall. Do you know the words to Wonderwall?
Huh? What do you say?
Do you know the words to Wonderwall?
Well, I'm not gonna sing. I haven't got a good voice, man. I ain't gonna sing. That's one thing I've never said.
Yeah, but you Brazilian men love singing. It's on the home team to beat the away team, so-called football hams. You flopped tonight, is what Ray says. Look, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. This stream is going to take you through to Dom Hassam's channel for what's the show called? I can't say it properly. Ahwa. When I say it, I sound like I'm saying like aqua. I feel like I say aqua when I say it, right? Go through to Don's channel and support it. We're back tomorrow, top 6 show, earlier than usual at 5 p.m. and then Arsenal play in the evening. So we're live after they play in the Champions League. Congrats to Tottenham. Well done to Inter. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.